I'm great. How are you doing?
Fantastic. Welcome back to the East Coast. It's so great that you've included so many dates in our area. A lot of our listeners had the chance to see you in Hartford at Infinity Hall, and they really loved the show. So tonight you're at Richfield Playhouse, getting ready to hit the stage soon. So thank you so much for taking the time to call in. The new album is called Leap of Faith. So the first thing I wanted to ask you about is the song All Those Faces. Happens to be my personal favorite on the album, and I'm so happy that you're including it in your live shows. We're going to play it, but before I do, talk to me about that song and the meaning behind it.
It's a song that I started strumming those chords, and I just decided to just sort of pick the words out as they came. So it's kind of a free-flowing catharsis, I suppose. It's just as these thoughts floated through my head, I put them down and got them a little more coherent. And I didn't really have anything to go on. I just thought, when I hit upon the theme, I just went with it, and I tried not to edit myself too much. That's what that's all about.
Did you have the album title first? I know the album title appears in that song. Or did you try to write a song that had the album title in it? How did Leap of Faith end up coming from that song to the title, or vice versa?
I did not have a title for the longest time. And it just, once again, I wasn't thinking too hard about it, and it occurred to me. I had several working titles, but they didn't really talk to me. And then when I had the idea of calling it Leap of Faith, it seemed like a perfect thing to do. It seemed like an apt description of the album.
And then you mentioned you meet all these people, all those faces. Who are all the faces? Are they the fans that you see in the audience?
Well, it's not just the audience. It's like it's everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
It has a lot to do with audiences and traveling. That's definitely true. But it could be, walking down the street in a city, But my work, allows me to see a lot of people on different levels and in different situations, and it always shows me that, all around the world, really, and it shows me how we're all so much the same, really.
Well, it's a beautiful song. Let's give it a listen. Timothy B. Schmit, All Those Faces, from his new album, Leap of Faith, on the home of rock and roll, I-95. The home of rock and roll, I-95, with Timothy B. Schmit, All Those Faces, from his new album, Leap of Faith. I'm Kathy Wagner, and Timothy's on the line with me now, performing tonight at Richfield Playhouse. You'll be doing that song, right?
I will likely be doing that song.
Fantastic. Let's talk a little bit about the tour. Okay, so here we are now. It's May of 2017. When we talked during the Expando tour, you were just beginning to play these small venues. And you had mentioned it was a little bit intimidating playing the smaller rooms as opposed to playing all the huge arenas with the other band. But that was over 5 years ago. You've done a lot more solo shows, including a whole bunch on the West Coast that were really successful, a bunch on the East Coast. How would you compare the earlier shows during the Expando tour with the ones that you're doing now?
I think, they're certainly similar, but I think my whole, I'm more used to it now, and I'm a little more comfortable with things. And I learned just that, how to stay on my toes, and how to be comfortable and still stay on my toes, and still try and keep stay in the moment, and try to do my best,
Now that you've done a lot of solo shows this year, I'm curious to know what song or songs do you most look forward to performing each night? What's your personal favorite part of your set?
Oh, geez. It's kind of like a living being, the whole set. And so it has its different moods. I like the very beginning songs, and then I like... you know what? I'm not putting anything in the set that I don't like to do. It's kind of a hard question. I can craft my own show however I want to do it. And if there's anything really questionable, I might not do it. And I'm a little more comfortable doing, like maybe during my solo part of like adding or subtracting songs depending on how I feel.
So what would be your plans for the remainder of the year and going forward? Are you planning to continue to set up additional solo tours?
That's yet to be seen. I have to kind of I have to stay on alert in case anything happens with the Eagles. I'm not hinting there's going to be, but I have a feeling there might be. I'm not really sure. Maybe not. But until if something comes up, if I think I want to go out touring solo, I have to check. I have to check and see if I should keep that time period open for whatever reason. So I don't want anybody to get I did not say we're doing more.
Right.
We're going to see how these two big shows go, and then see if we want to do more.
Right.
It kind of depends upon that. Otherwise, if I have to wait and see, I'm going to just try to write more songs and record more and just keep doing what I do because I actually enjoy it. It's a good job.
You just read my mind because my next question was going to be, are you currently writing? Do you have a number of songs that maybe are already finished and going toward the next album?
I have one song that's completely finished and a bunch of ideas. So yeah, I just keep. That's what I do. I compile songs and see if I can put something together to make it a coherent piece. Yeah, I plan on doing this until something stops me.
Well, that's great to hear. The one that's finished, I've got to ask, what's it about? The one that you've just finished.
I'd say it could have fit on Leap of Faith. It's kind of in that vein. That's about as far as I can go. I haven't really even picked that up and played with it for a while because I've been busy doing this stuff.
Right.
But yeah, it's more sort of contemplative stuff. I hope to expand and start reaching out to other areas too. I'm not sure what that means, but I'd like to do that.
All right. Well, for folks who are heading to Richfield Playhouse tonight, just quickly tell me the names of your band members. Who are we going to see on stage tonight at the show with you?
Well, I have my studio partner, Hank Linderman, who's a great guitar player. I have Herman Matthews, the greatest drummer. I have three ladies singers, Marlena Jeter, Lynn Vidmont, and Mortonette Stevens. I have my tech actually comes up on the stage for a few songs and plays bass and some other instruments. His name is Bobby Carlos, and then on keyboards is Chris Farmer, and pretty much almost everybody sings.
Yeah, this is the same band you had with Expando, right? All the same people.
They're the same people, and they all keep saying yes when I ask them if they can clear some time and come out with me. So far, anyway, it's been really great. I love these people. In fact, I'm taking them all out to dinner tonight. So I'm gonna hang. I actually like being around them as well. So it's a good situation.
Well, that's wonderful, and it says a lot about you and how much they want to work with you. It's like having a family out on the road. So you're very
really
lucky to have that. Well, Timothy, I'm so glad you're touring behind the new album, especially here in Connecticut. So thank you for sharing your gift. Timothy B. Schmit, tonight at Richfield Playhouse. Showtime is 8 o'clock. Timothy, it's always a pleasure to speak with you. Thanks again.
Thank you very much.